You guys, I got my little Rockstar punched. If you live in Florida and you have Publix, they are on sale at Publix for $1 a can. Just so you know, I usually don't drink Rockstars at all. But I am feeling like I've been up since 3 a.m. and I wrote for like 3 hours. And then I've been shooting video this morning, okay? And so I'm really super tired, so I'm trying to like push through. Hi, you guys, how are you? I hope you're doing so well. I wanted to talk to you guys about something. This is a blog post that I wrote this morning, and I wanted to share it with you. And I'm actually telling on myself because I'm super embarrassed about it. And that's why this happened like over 6 months ago. But I didn't want to write it because I was embarrassed to say anything about it. But then I also thought, you know what? I need to be transparent. And I learned something significant from this particular experience, what I'm going to tell you about. And so I wanted to share it with you because I think that this would be very beneficial for you guys, my subscribers, right? My friends. So, okay, so this happened about 6 months ago. And I had met this particular gal through YouTube, actually. She had found one of my videos, and she reached out to me, and she wanted to talk to me, and she, wanted to express how she was feeling about one of my videos that she was really inspired by, and it really helped her in her life, okay? So we started talking more frequently, and I learned more about her. She learned more about me and stuff. And so I was a little bit reluctant in that friendship only because I felt like it was a lot of negativity, like a lot of negative talk, a lot of bashing people, but I'm a healer. I'm an empath. I'm always trying to I'm going to see, I'm an artist. I always see the beauty in everything, I see the beauty in everything. And so I always thought, okay, well, maybe, we can create something different. Like maybe this is what needs to happen, is that we met for a reason, right? And we actually did meet for a reason because the universe is always giving you exactly what you're reflecting out, right? So if you're getting, some people that are talking some shit or whatever, you might not be saying stuff, but your energy is reflecting that. And so this person came into my life I believe now and know, to show me through some experiences that I needed to learn more and expand and have more self-worth and self-love. So we're chatting it up, right, one day, and I was expressing to her that I was feeling a little bit of pressure from Jeffrey that I might need to go out and get a job, right? Because when we first hooked up, I had like design jobs and interior design jobs, and I was getting those, and those paid really good money, right? I could work for, 8 days and make $4,000, right? So I did really well, and I would only have to work a little bit to make up the difference for, some people that work a whole month, and that's how much they make. So those kind of dried out. The people that I was working for actually moved out of state, and so money wasn't really an issue, to be quite honest. But as time has progressed, Jeffrey and I have been together, over 3 years now. 3 years, I think. Yeah, it'll be 3 years this year in a couple of months. And so I was feeling the pressure, like he wasn't saying you need to get a job or nothing like that. Like we both have like equal massive dope ass, we have massive respect for each other. And so I don't ever go into my relationship with Jeffrey the same way that I did with my ex. Because I've learned, for one thing. Secondly, that's just not how we jive, So, but he was saying, oh, baby, we've got to really watch it and whatever, And so I, being the kind of person, how we always have those tendencies within ourselves, even though we may have overcome something really difficult, like filling the gaps of our self-worth and self-love and, rescuing ourselves and all that kind of stuff. We still have those tendencies to sometimes, if there's any kind of distilled vibrational frequency going on collectively, we can kind of like those triggers and we'll suck them in. It's almost like it's law of attraction, basically, you know. And so because that was a trigger to me from my ex. Remember how you guys have told you that, like, you know, that the ex was very insistent upon me, you know, going out and clocking in, and you got to have a job, like this is how you make the money. Like, I couldn't make the money. He didn't think it was as important to make the money in my own way. You know, let me have a good estate sale. Let me have a good ass yard sale. Let me turn these, you know, these Louis Vuitton purses, let me sell them for a couple $100. That wasn't good enough. But see, Jeffrey isn't like that. He, and so, yeah, I do compare those things, but because I'm getting to the point, is that we can still be triggered by things, and that's exactly what happened. So my learning curve came here. And it was when I was talking to said friend one day, and I was expressing myself to her and about how I thought I should get a job, but I really didn't want to go out and work. I wanted to like take my side hustle to the max. I wanted to work like 14 to 16 hours a day, and I wanted to make me being unemployed, my full-time job was to get blogger content, to create my business, to my side hustle to become something like my art and selling my books and doing a book tour and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so that's truly what I wanted to say. But I let it string on for a couple of weeks. Well, the friend came back to me and she said, you know what you should totally do? She was joking one day and she goes, you know what you should totally do? Is you should go and get a job like at some place that like, you know, that would make your husband jealous. And then I bet you he would be so jealous he wouldn't want you to work. And I go, oh, like Hooters or something? And she's like, oh yeah, you totally should do it. And then like pretend that you got the job and all that kind of stuff and see if he gets jealous enough. And he'll be like, oh, no way, you're not working there. Okay, you guys, well, I did that. I actually got hired on the spot, which I didn't think was going to happen. It was kind of like it was a game I was playing, basically, because I wasn't being truly authentic with myself. I wasn't going to my husband and expressing my true feelings like, no, I am not going to go out and work. This is how it's going to be, and this is my truth, you know? I know how to live very, very cheaply. And so I didn't do that. I went and toyed around with this dumb idea, which was asinine, because all it did was waste my day away. It caused me to get upset because when I went and told my husband that I got the job, he was actually excited because he thought, oh, well, this will be good tips and stuff until things get kicked off and start going, you know? And I was even more pissed, you know? But here's the whole understanding of where I wanted to come to you with, is that what I learned was, once again, how many times do I, Raquel, need to learn? And I think I can speak for a lot of people. I mean, I won't speak for you, but if you're anything like me, that you get these triggers, and instead of actually telling what your truth is and being transparent and authentic, we have fear because we don't want to admit certain things, or we may not want certain things to happen, and so we push against those things. And that's exactly what I was doing when I went, you know, like thinking that was going to work. Well, it actually backfired in my face, because then it was like, oh, well, you got the job. And I'm just like, yeah, but I don't want the job. It's not that I think I'm better or anything, but I wanted to spend all of those times that I would have to divide my attention, work in shifts. Sometimes we would see each other. Sometimes we probably wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't get to spend quality time with him every day. There was just a lot of things. I would have to work weekends, and, you know, it would just, the dynamic is just ridiculous, and I didn't want to do that. Like, if I could do that, if I wanted to do that, but there's a reason I haven't ever done that. I don't want to. And call it spoiled or whatever, but this is just my truth. I knew that we were capable of living on one income, because, you know what I'm saying? I know that Jeffrey knows how to budget money very well. I know how to budget money very well. So I knew that we could. We just have to be like really, really be particular, right? And be very frugal. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, when you're getting your hustle going, there's nothing wrong with, you know, being scrappy. It's totally actually a good thing if you're scrappy and like you can piece together shit and figure things out. That's exactly what I'm doing with this business. I'm scrappy all the way. I'm being scrappy. And so anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to say is that once again, that something that I learned was that I was leaning on someone else and replacing their opinion or their thoughts or what they thought about my particular situation, and I was replacing their opinion for my own and what my own inner being knew, like my gut, my instinct. And so I was listening to what other people thought about me. And that goes with regards to Jeffrey as well, is that I was allowing someone else to cause me to have this inferiority complex or this insecurity because, you know, oh, I don't want to pull my weight, so to speak. And that stemmed and was triggered from my old relationship, right? And so it's not to go back and like rehash, like, oh my God, all she does is talk about her old marriage or whatever. I'm doing that because there's a bigger reason behind it, and I want to give you I want to give you the background so that you understand where I'm coming from, and also so that you can reflect on your own life and understand why we are doing the certain things that we do. And so once again, that was what it was, okay? So let me preface again, what I learned from that experience was that I wasn't living my truth. I should have went to Jeffrey straight away and said, no, I'm not doing this. I will figure out how to make a couple $100 on my own, but I'm not going to work at a 9-to-5 job and clock in. I'm not doing it. I want to spend the time and energy on my side hustle, and I'm going to make that a priority, and I will come through. I'm going to come through because I bank on myself. I don't bank on expecting someone else to get this for me and someone else to do this for me and someone else. That is for victim mentality. That is for someone looking for a handout. I'm very responsible and very accountable, and I know no one can blame me but me. I'm leading with that because that is something that I've learned also, is that this person, this said friend, came into my life because there were certain things that I needed to see her reflecting to me that I didn't like. Now, the reason that I didn't like what I saw in her is because I had those same particular qualities, or not necessarily good qualities. Do you know what I'm saying? Things that bothered me. And so if you want to know what you're reflecting and what you're putting out into the universe, all you have to do is look around at who you're associating with. Because if you're really have a friend that's like super, super jealous and super this or whatever, or a particular way, and then you're like, oh, I can't stand that about it. Maybe you might have to look and go, fuck, I think I'm that way, you know? And I know that that's a hard pill for people to swallow, is to like take accountability. Because I could blame said friend that it was her fault. She suggested it and I just did it, you know? I could be a victim and say, oh, it's her fault. Oh, it's Jeffrey's fault because he didn't tell me, you know, he doesn't love me enough, or whatever the excuse is. But that's exactly what it is, you guys. It's an excuse for us not taking accountability for everything, every single thing that happens in our life. And so when we can do that, like, the power is in our hands. Like, when we can actually tell and lay everything on the line, we are no more subjected or fearful of what could happen. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, think about the end of the movie Eminem. Okay, 8 Mile. Remember how the end, like, was it Drake? That was like, Eminem figured it out. Like, he knew, like, oh, there's a reason that I can't fucking beat this guy, or there's a reason why somebody can't fucking beat me in a rapping contest, because I lay my shit out. Like, you can't do anything, or you can't say anything to somebody if they've already said, I know that about myself. I already told you about it. Like, I know I have, a crooked nose. I know I have a mole right here. I know, whatever. Like, if I say that, out to the open and I already know my frailties or imperfections, you can't fucking call me out on it. You can, but it doesn't fucking matter because I don't care. I already know. So what I'm saying is, when you put yourself out there like I'm doing now and being vulnerable and telling you my vulnerability about like, yeah, I was freaking insecure and once again I feared, stating my truth, and no one can hold that against me. What are you going to do? Well, you are. And your point is next. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful way to be, is because when you're transparent like that and you're living your truth, that's your truth. Nobody can dick with your truth. Like, it's your truth. So who cares what other people think? Anyway, that was probably another fucking tangent, but you guys know me. I just missed you so much. And so I'm always like, this is what I'd say to the chickens maybe, or the rabbit. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to state that and say, I am no longer friends with that so-called friend. Like, she went a little cuckoo bird on me. She went a little sideways on me. And so, I don't want to call her out too much, but anyway, it just didn't work out. And so, obviously she was in my life for a time because I needed to learn some stuff, and hopefully she learned some stuff or will learn some stuff. Like, we're all on our own path, and like, I totally want every piece for everybody. Like, I love everybody, and, I don't bring everybody home for dinner. So, I wish her well, and I'm super happy about the outcome of it, because I actually did sit down with Jeffrey and talk to him and told him, like I said, I sat down and talked with him and told him, like, I'm sorry, I was insecure, I didn't want to say anything, but I want to state with the clarity and confidence in myself right now that I am going to live my truth, and I don't want to work outside the home, and I'm sorry if you don't like that, but I'm not sorry for stating how I really feel, and I'm not going to do something that I don't believe in and that is not true to my inner being. And so that sometimes can be very difficult for people to do. Like, I get it. It's a process. Look how I'm still working on it, and I've been doing the law of attraction for over 5 years, you guys. Like, it's a work in progress, and it's okay that you're imperfectly perfect. You are so perfect, and you are so loved by the universe, by God, source, and by me. I just want you to know how much I love sharing video with you, and I hope that in some minute way that 1% of the people that watch my videos gather something, or maybe it triggers something in your heart and your mind, and you're able to grow and expand in your own life from it. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Subscribe or give me a thumbs up, and comment in the section below. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram is Raquel Margaret Carter, or you can find me on Twitter at Raquel M. Carter, or you can go to my blog and read and comment there or whatever. And so, once again, thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Ciao!